Soil formation, physical, chemical agents, and factors.
Hey, your mom just washed that shirt. Please quit getting it dirty.
But it's fun to play with dirt and mud.
Do you ever stop and think about how all this dirt came to be?
No, why would I?
It is important because without it, we wouldn't have the varying landscapes, a place for crops to grow, and the mud for you to play in.
Okay, so tell me where this mud came from then.
You see, the mud, dirt, gravel, and rocks you are playing in is all part of the soil. It is formed through the process of weathering.
Like the climate weather?
Climate plays a role, but the weathering process is the breaking down and alteration of the parent rock near the earth's surface, making it possible to change.
What are the steps? And please keep it simple for my sake.
I will try to do that, but that means you certainly have to read about it more in depth. I won't be describing it fully. Now, the process is a combination of disintegration, which is breaking down, and synthesis, that is building up. It takes hundreds of years and brought about by physical, biological, and chemical agencies.
Can we discuss these agents first before moving on?
Fine. The physical agents include wind, water, moving ice, and temperature. Moving ice and wind have a grinding effect as they move and break down. The rain has a force that erodes soil surfaces. Temperature is important because as water freezes in cooler climates like on top of Mount Kenya, it expands and moves the soils around it.
Are rocks affected by high temperatures? I sweat a lot in the sun.
Why? Yes. Rocks expand in high heat starting from the outside to the inside. Strange, isn't it? As temperature cools off, the rocks contract starting from the surface. This process causes the rocks to break down slowly. Physical or mechanical weathering is one of the first causes of disintegration of rocks.
Alright, what else is there?
Biological agents that are the living organisms that play a role. Imagine a herd of elephants, cattle, or buffalo walking the same trail to a watering hole. The rocks on their trip will be broken down much faster.
Are those the only living organisms who do that?
Of course not. Every size and shape causes a change. From worms, waste matter, to even plant roots, change the soil around them. As humans, do activities such as mining, earth moving, cultivation, and construction that change the environment.
Did you say plant roots?
Yes. And as the roots get into the cracks of rocks, they can crack it as the plants grow. Once the plants die, the roots may leave, but the cracks are still there. The dead plant will decay and make an acid that wears down the rock.
Acid? Like in that scary movie we saw?
Yes, that is more along the line of a chemical change.
The rock changes just like the bad guy's skin was dissolved?
Similar, but not as scary.
How?
Chemical weathering is the main process of the rock reacting with oxygen, carbon dioxide, and the chief agent, water.
Water?
Yeah. The rain that falls from the sky combines with carbon dioxide to form a weak carbonic acid. Over a period of time, the acid reacts with the rock's calcium carbonate, resulting in decomposition.
So rain and carbon dioxide mix to make a carbonic acid, and which then reacts with the rock minerals.
In a nutshell, yes.
What kind of soil does that make then?
Well, that depends on the factors of soil formation.
I have a feeling you're going to want to discuss these now.
Yes, but I will be brief, so be quiet. The rocks that break down in an area directly affect what kind of soil it will be. For example, volcanic lava produces clay soils, while granite and sandstone produces sandy soil.
This must affect what vegetation can grow, right?
Yeah. And rocks rich in calcite, feldspar, and ferromagnesium make deep, heavy soils rich in nutrients.
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say the weather has something to do with this.
Yes, weather affects a lot in agriculture, as you have noticed and discussed. High temperatures speed up the rate of chemical reaction, increasing the weathering of rocks. Combine this with heavy rainfall and rocks are going to be broken down a lot faster.
How does wind factor in?
Wind is a transport agent, and if a lot of weathered materials gather in one place, it will produce a deep soil. Of course, if one area has deep soil, the location it comes from will have shallow soil.
How would that work?
Imagine a hill in a high altitude. It would have a lot of wind that pushes the soil down into the valley. Thin soil at the top and deeper soil at the base. Simple. The slope has a large impact on how the dirt moves. This rolls into the topography of the land.
Ah, yes, I learned about that in geography. It deals with elevation, slope, and degree of exposure or shelter, which quickens or delays the effects of climate.
That teacher is great.
Ah, the sun's going down. What time is it, Mose?
Time weathers all things.
What? Is that philosophy?
Yes, but for what we are talking about currently, it takes a great deal of time for soil to form. The older the soil, given it has favorable conditions, the more likely it will be filled with nutrients. If unfavorable conditions occur, then it will take much longer time to obtain the same level of soil.
Soil has so many layers to it.
Yes, Sam, exactly. Follow me.